Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta anakutana na Azimio. Agenda ni gani? Linda Mwananchi pia wanajipanga pia kwa safari yao pia kuingia upande wa Homa Bay pale. Unajua mambo ni mengi. Katika upande wa serikali pia ODM over the weekend pia.
Yes.
Wamesema kwamba wana support speech ya rais. Ushaona speech ya rais ambayo amepatiana hivi majuzi
ile 2060.
2060 kwamba plan ya 2060 hapa nchini Kenya. Upande wa DCP wanasema hatutaki ndoto, tunataka mambo yafanyike hivi sasa. Hii mambo ya ndoto tumalizane na agenda zile ambazo kwa hivi sasa zipo na masuala mengine ambayo tutajadili katika state of the nation.
Hata Wiper pia wamesema hivyo, hawana haja ya ndoto tena. Wao wanataka, wamejiunga na DCP wakisema kwamba wanataka vitendo. Wakenya wanataka vitendo, hawataki ndoto. Lakini rais alielezea wazi kwamba lazima tujipange. Vision 2030 ina end. By 2030 it will be over. In the next 3 years it will be over. We must have a vision again beyond 2030. I mean, kuna ubaya jamani rais akipendekeza vision yake?
Maybe swali ambalo tunafaa tujiulize this beautiful morning, na Pauline Njoroge atatusaidia, ni kwamba tumekuwa na Vision 2030.
Kweli?
Vision 2030 ambayo ilianza wakati wa mheshimiwa Mwai Kibaki.
Ndio.
Mwenyezi Mungu ailaze roho yake mahali pema peponi.
Yes.
Ushaona je, hii Vision 2030 tulisema kwamba pia inchi pia tunataka pia iko katika viwango vya inchi ambazo zimeendelea hapa ulimwenguni.
Kweli?
Maybe can we go back kwanza tuangalie, have you achieved anything katika Vision 2030? Je, yale ambayo tulizungumzia katika Vision 2030 tumekaribia? Tuko katika 20%, tuko katika 50%, ama tuko katika 60%? Where are we before we start talking about Vision 2060?
Kiukweli ni kwamba hatukutekeleza yote, hatukuweza yote, lakini ikumbukwe kwamba ilikuwa launched even before promulgation. Even before promulgation of the new constitution. Which means Rais Kibaki akiwa na hiyo Vision 2030, kumbuka yeye mwenyewe kuna yale ambayo alitekeleza.
Okay.
Yale ambayo Rais Kibaki aliyafanya, Wakenya wengi wanajua tu, barabara zilianza kujengwa wakati wa Rais Kibaki.
Ndio.
Wakati wa Moi tulienjoyiwa miaka 24. Hiyo Wakenya wengi wanajua. Lakini wakati wa Kibaki angalau tukaanza kuona Thika Road kafanyika. Wakenya walikuwa waanza kuona lanes 4. Wakaziona lanes 4. Wakati wa Uhuru Kenyatta hatukuwa tumeona kitu kama expressway, tukaona expressway ikifanyika.
Ndio.
Wakati wa Uhuru Kenyatta tukaona pia Southern bypass mingi zikaanza kufanyika wakati wa Kibaki na Uhuru Kenyatta. Kadhalika pia tukaona SGR ya kutoka Mombasa paka. So kuna mambo yamefanyika, lakini bado hatujafika katika mahali Vision 2030 ilitaka tufike.
So tuimalizie Vision 2030 kwanza, tuseme kwamba now we are done with Vision 2030. We have achieved in Vision 2030 because when
tutaweza in 3 years.
So kama tutaweza why are we starting Vision 2060? Let's start with Vision 2030 first. But anyway, karibu katika studio za Radio 47 Pauline Njoroge.
Asante sana.
Karibu sana.
Thank you very
Asante.
much.
All right, maoni yako kuhusiana na press statement ama press release yake Rais William Ruto kuhusiana na Vision 2060. Tuanzie hapo. Because when a strategist
vile amesema Mwakideo, there's something that there's part of it has been achieved of Vision 2030 has been achieved, and a lot of especially in terms of infrastructure. Kibaki did a lot, and then Uhuru even did more. I think Uhuru achieved more in terms of infrastructure than even President Kibaki, because he was able to build from where Kibaki had left, and doing almost 10,000 kilometers of roads in those 10 years. And as you are saying, introduction of the SGR and so many other things that were going on. This country was literally a construction site. But there are also things that have not been done. For example, what has happened to our manufacturing sector over the years? It has collapsed.
Yes.
We are importing everything. And we are not looking... we have the drivers of the manufacturing sectors.
Yeah.
And over time, we have weakened those drivers. Look at the cost of energy in the country. You can't have the price of energy going high every day and then you expect that the companies or the industries will be able to withstand that. Look at the tax regime. It's also not good for manufacturing. So there are things that are supposed to, grow our economy, as envisaged by Vision 2030. And other issues, socio-economic issues that have not... We are very far from getting there. Actually, we are actually in a worse place than we were when Kibaki launched Vision 2030. So we first needed to do an audit. It's not just it's not about having
Introducing another vision.
Another vision. It's about where are we with the previous one, so that and why did we fail in the first place? So we need to ask those questions. The government needs to be accountable.
Pauline, you're talking about Vision 2030 and unai-relate na former President Uhuru Kenyatta and President Kibaki, Mwenyezi Mungu ailaze roho yake mahali pema peponi, but you're not mentioning anything about President Ruto and Vision 2030. Why is that so? Unaona kwamba Rais Ruto hajafanya chochote kuhusiana na Vision 2030?
I haven't seen anything much, because in terms of infrastructure, in terms of manufacturing and everything else that is envisaged in it, we haven't seen much. Ruto is very good in giving promises.
But when you're talking about for example maswala ya kuhusiana na industries tofauti, Rais Ruto amefufua Mumias. Ile kitu akienda kule kusema mambo ni matatu. Akisema mambo ni matatu, either nguruma mashine skanguruma.
Kufufua Mumias ni kuimport sukari and then inakuwa packaged Kenya. Is that what we are talking about?
No, hiyo hatuwezi kudhibitisha kwamba tuna import sukari, we are not sure. Lakini tunajua kwamba watu wa Mumias na watu wa sukari na watu wa miwa siku hizi inasemekana kwamba unalipwa na mapema zaidi. Apart from that, amekuwa akiongelea kuhusiana na masuala ya leather.
Let me tell you, there's PR and then there's actually what is happening on the ground.
Tell us what is happening.
Actually, those we have companies in Western Kenya. Some of them owned by the friends of the president. All they do is import sugar, then come package, they give it a Kenya name and they put it in the market. The farmers are not benefiting.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What about affordable housing?
Again, affordable housing. I was in Thika a few months ago, actually several weeks ago, and I saw a building there, some affordable housing project, which has stalled. The last 4 months, nothing has been going on, and that is the situation in many other parts of the country. I think there's no uptick. There's no accountability of even how the money that is being deducted from workers is really being used. We had some of it was because there's no uptick. Part of the money was put in treasury bonds. I wonder that was not the plan in the first place. I don't think there was any public participation or the involvement of the contributors in how some of this money should be managed financially. So we are told the affordable housing is creating jobs. We are told affordable housing is creating, the industries are thriving because they are supplying to the buildings. But again, and I don't want to mention names here, again, it's the friends of the president that have been given the bulk of the supplies. So it's not mwananchi wa kawaida. Ukiangalia vizuri, is not benefiting. And they keep giving us figures. They keep giving us figures that we have created this number of employment. I think the last time the president said they had created about 380,000 jobs in that particular project.
Yes.
But when you look at the KNBS figures, and these are the official data from the Kenya Bureau of Statistics, Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, the entire manufacturing, the entire construction sector, not the affordable housing alone, the entire construction sector in Kenya in the last 3 years has not even done half of those jobs that the president is talking about. So there's also a lot of lies, and that's what I'm saying. It's PR, but the reality on the ground is quite different.
Hivi Pauline Njoroge, ukiwa umeketi hapo hivyo, with all fairness, yani hakuna chochote kile ambacho unaweza kuzungumzia kwamba serikali ya Kenya Kwanza ikiwa inaongozwa na Mheshimiwa Daktari William Samoei Ruto imefanya hapa nchini Kenya tangu waingie katika mamlaka, hakuna chochote kile ambacho kimekupendeza, ama unaweza kusema
they have built a stadium.
Ndio.
A grand stadium.
Yes.
That one you have to give it to him. But at what cost? And let me explain something. The Roman Empire is the greatest empire in human history that lasted for about 500 years before it fell. And the decline of the Roman Empire was not because they did not have military might. You know, it's not because they could not build grand palaces and beautiful monuments. Actually, they built a stadium called the Colosseum 2,000 years ago. It still stands to date. The Roman roads in places like Pompeii, you can find them today, roads that are 2,000 years old. The Roman Empire did not decline because they did not have military might. It did not decline because they were not able to build roads and grand monuments and stadiums. It declined because of weakened institutions. That was the first thing. Weakened institutions because emperors like Commodus wanted to ascend it that he could control. There was grand corruption also. With emperors like Nero taking money from the people, accumulating wealth, building grand palaces. We have seen it here in Kenya, the Grand State House. Rome collapsed because of the decay in the moral fabric. Rome collapsed because the software was broken. So we may talk about so many things. We may say we are building a stadium, but actually the country is declining. When I've asked you, what is the cost of doing that stadium? We were told 44 billion, but by the time we finish paying, it will be 100 billion. The process of building this stadium, or some of the development projects they're telling us about, are quite opaque. There is no transparency. There is no accountability. And so you find it is actually the citizen that will go back to their pockets and pay for things that could, if we had the right kind of governance, if the software was working, they could have been done at a way lesser amount. But because someone wants to make money from these processes, they make sure that the process is as opaque as possible. They make sure there's no transparency. They make sure that there's no accountability. And so they keep taking and taking and taking from Mananchi. And as we build these projects at inflated costs, there's an opportunity cost to it. There's no medicine in our hospitals. There are no ICU beds.
Lakini si the same problem tu ambao unazungumzia kwa hivi sasa ya uongozi wake Mheshimiwa William Ruto.
Yes.
The same things that you're talking right now, Pauline, ndio vitu ambavyo pia vilizungumziwa pia wakati pia Mheshimiwa pia Uhuru. Kuna mpaka project, mpaka leo kuna contact ikuwa nauliziwa tu, contact ambayo ya SGR, ya expressway. Ushaona? Mpaka sasa haijulikani vile ilivyo. Ushaona? Anakuja kuangalia hata pia pesa kuongezea katika project pia. Ni moja wapo pia matatizo ambayo pia yamekuwa kizungumziwa.
Let me tell you something, the difference between this regime and the previous regime. Do you know the name of the DPP of head, Moshumbe? How many Kenyans know the name of the DPP of head?
Right.
Do you know why? Because that office is not as active as it used to be. There was a time when every time we heard of a scandal, we knew people were going to be arrested. Kamata Friday. The flying squad would pick people. Like, you remember there was a scandal at Kenya Power? You remember there were scandals at that time because no government really has been perfect.
Yes.
But as I'm saying, saying there was some form of accountability. People would be arrested. People would be arraigned in court. When was the last time you saw a member of parliament or a minister or a permanent secretary or a principal secretary under the current regime?
Lakini kamata pia kusaidia Pauline kumaliza ufisadi. Bado ulikuwepo tu ufisadi Pauline.
There was something called deterrence. I've just said there is no perfect. We haven't had a perfect government. But also you need to take deterrence measures. You know, it can't be that anyone can do whatever they wish to do and there is no form of accountability at all, that the people can be stealing. And we hear there is a scandal that has happened. People have even been stopped from working or even suspended, like it happened with EPRA. But after that, the story just dies. No one is arraigned in court. There is no...
Well, tumeona Pauline Njoroge, a few of kamata. Tumeona Natembea akishikwa, tumemwona huyu wa Matangi akishikwa, tumeona wakishikwa kidogo hapa na pale. But in most cases, what we are seeing and what used to happen with the previous regime yake Rais Uhuru Kenyatta, ni ile tu watu wanasema kwamba watu wa Ruto walikuwa wanashikwa. Sahii pia inasemekana kwamba watu wanaopinga serikali ndio wanashikwa. It's always watu ambao wako against the government ambao ndio wanashikwa, ambao pia kwa macho ya Mkenya wa kawaida inaonekana tu wazi the government is fighting people who are fighting it. So anyway, tutoke huko tuje hapa. Sifuna kusajili Linda Mwananchi kama chama. Do we still have time for Linda Mwananchi kusajiliwa kama chama, kuzunguka Kenya nzima, maoni kuchukuliwa, wanachama kusajiliwa katika county takriban 20 na is there still time for Linda Mwananchi to actually be a party na kusimama katika 2027?
Yes, there's still time, because I think in terms of membership registration, that should be submitted by February.
Membership
registration
by February.
I think this in the 24 counties. Na vile tumeona Linda Mwananchi, first of all, even before it becomes a party, it's a movement that has created a lot of enthusiasm amongst Kenyans. It has given Kenyans hope. There's a lot of expectation, and it has a massive following. So in terms of being able to fulfill this constitutional requirement within a certain timeline, I think there's still time. Yes.
Okay.
So I think even registration, starting from the registration of members in the 24 counties, I don't think that will really be an issue. People are looking forward. They're asking, where is the party? When are you giving us the party? We are looking forward to joining. We are looking forward to registering members. Aspirants are looking forward to joining. There was a story that says
Linda Mwananchi, that name haiwezi kusajiliwa kama chama. I think because of some legal reasons and stuff. Is there any truth behind that?
I think someone is trying to complicate when they talk about public interest or whatever. These are two Kiswahili words. They are not a threat to anyone. But someone is trying to make it an issue. How is the name Linda Mwananchi?
Okay.
When you hear Linda Mwananchi, do you feel, as a Kenyan, do you feel any threat in that name? So I think someone is
Linda
just trying...
against...
Linda
against who?
So I think someone is just trying to complicate the process.
So kulingana na wewe Pauline Njoroge, Baraka wewe ni mtu tajika na mtu ambao unaheshimika hapa nchini Kenya kwa katika masuala ya uongozi wa serikali, umekuepo pale ndani. Ni vitu ambavyo unavyoelewa. So ukijaribu kukompea utawala wa Mheshimiwa Uhuru na utawala wa Mheshimiwa William Ruto, na kwa hivi sasa uko katika Linda Mwananchi, unataka kutuambia kwamba Linda Mwananchi ndio itamaliza matatizo yote hapa nchini Kenya? Kwa mfano, kama utachukua serikali, the option that Kenya wanahitaji kwa hivi sasa ni Linda Mwananchi.
Let me tell you, there's no one government itamaliza mashida zetu zote. But you can see a government that actually means well. You can see a campaign agenda that actually has been well thought through. The easiest thing is to promise. The easiest thing is to promise that nikiingia, I'll do 1,000 dams and water pans. You remember? There was that promise.
Exactly.
It's easy to promise that nikiingia nitapatiana diapers. Those populist pronouncements that can make a campaign very mama mboga. Listening to Edwin Sifuna, he's bringing a very important conversation that we need to go back to the constitution. That how this country should be governed, how projects should be implemented, how everything should be done. It is outlined in the preamble of the constitution. Let's go back to constitutionalism. Let's go back to the rule of law. Let's go back to our democratic ideals. Because if a country is being governed well, if you have fixed the software, then even the taxes, ukitoa tax yako, unajua inatumika vile inafaa. Project ikifanywa, unajua pesa haitaibiwa, because actually the rule of law is being followed. So I think Sifuna has taken us back to a very, very important conversation. So
hakutakuwa promise katika Linda Mwananchi? There no promising, hakuna kati maybe kwa mfano, kama itakuwa ni chama na watu meanza kukampeni na manifesto, hakuna siku tutasikia kwamba tutafanya.
We will not promise something that is not anchored on the constitution, and something that we know cannot be done within
the constitution.
Within the constitution, yes.
So Linda Mwananchi will promise to adhere to the constitution of Kenya to the latter.
Yes, that is the most important thing.
Because everything is in the constitution. We
are a democratic state, and we must maintain that democratic state. When people went to fight Moi in the late 80s, early 90s, they did not go to fight Moi because he was not building stadiums. he had built Kasarani. They did not go to fight because he was not building roads. Of course, she was not the best at it. But they went to fight because of their freedoms. They went to fight because we needed a democratic space. Went to fight because we needed Section 2A repealed to give us to give us multipartyism. We needed a space where we can speak, where we can express ourselves, where Makidao, after finishing this this show, you won't find some guys from the special branch waiting for you outside here to take you to torture chambers, that we are able to express ourselves and we are able to have discourses as a country, and through that we are able to contribute effectively to the development of our country. That's why we fought. And even after Kibaki, after we removed Moi, multipartyism came. Kenyans removed Moi from power. Kibaki came into power, but Kenyans said, even with Kibaki coming into power, we must protect ourselves against an imperial presidency. And for that reason, we needed a new constitution. That is how we have that constitution right now. We need to know, why did Kenyans reject the Moi rule? Why did Kenyans want a new constitution? What exactly were they looking forward to? I had Ruto the other day say that the opposition right now is the biggest threat to the country's development. So what are you saying? Are you trying to take us back to where you come from? Do you miss the old constitution where you could have powers to do anything that you want and nobody could question you? That is what I'm saying. Kenyans pushed for something and they fought for it. Some of them.
Pauline Njoroge, mbona ukatoka Jubilee ama hujatoka bado?
Nilitoka.
Mbona ukatoka Jubilee?
You know, at one point, you must grow up and leave your father's house.
Okay.
Ndio.
I joined Linda Mwananchi in February. I have not joined Linda Mwananchi after
you joined
leaving Jubilee, as Mwashumbe had mentioned. I have been part of Linda Mwananchi since February when we went to Kitengela.
Okay.
And actively a member of that
the movement.
Yes.
All right.
Have been to every place that Linda Mwananchi has been, every corner of this country that what is it called, the 16. Maybe I've done, out of the 16, maybe I've done 15 of the counties that Linda Mwananchi has visited. So I've grown with that movement.
Okay.
And a time came that I felt I didn't want divided attention between Jubilee activities and Linda Mwananchi activities. I really needed to dedicate myself fully to Linda Mwananchi. I've been in Jubilee since 2012. Those are many years ago. Yep. Started off as a communication manager in TNA and worked with the party even when it transitioned after the merger with URP to form
Jubilee.
Jubilee and throughout the presidency of Uhuru Kenyatta. I've done three presidential campaigns. No, hakuna kitu. It was just a time for you just know when you need
to natural kwamba mtu anaanza kumove.
Yes.
Maana unajua tena, kwa hivyo kama ulijoin Linda Mwananchi kuanzia February, but umekuwa haonekani mbele katika stage pale. Kwa hivyo uko play from backstage?
No, I've actually not been playing from backstage. I've been very much right there at the front, but now with my resignation from Jubilee, now I can even play. Right. You know, now I can, as I'm saying, I want to dedicate myself fully to that cause. Hakuna kitu iliniudhi, you know. Right. And as you saw from my resignation, I thanked my former party boss, you know, because of the opportunity. Yeah, he gave me through that.
Is this sponsoring Linda Mwananchi? Hiyo story imekuwa mingi kweli na watu wa Linda Mwananchi mnakataa kabisa.
No, he's not. He's not sponsoring. He's not sponsoring. We have had to go back to Mwananchi to ask for support.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have worked with him for many years.
Yes.
Does he have anything with Linda Mwananchi? Ana chochote kile former president chochote?
He has something.
All right.
With the opposition. He is the chairman of Azimio. Which is a coalition that brings together parties, some of them which are still in the opposition, some have left. We have Jubilee, we have Wiper, and he is the chairman of that, and it's not a secret that is a side that he's aligned to. And Linda Mwananchi is an opposition, is a movement within the opposition. So yeah, we are all aligned in that agenda, himself included.
All right.
Yes.
So there's no any kind of funding whatsoever.
No, not at all.
President.
Not at all.
Pauline, watafuta nini? Wataka nini?
Umeongea mambo ya Indian Ocean. You remember there was a time there was a conversation about the water in Lake Turkana. Was it Lake Turkana?
Yes, Lake Turkana, yes. There was a lot of water in Turkana County, basically.
But it was
clean water in Turkana County underneath
there was an
the
aquifer. Let me tell you, why I'm talking about good governance is if you are able to manage public resources properly, it can be channeled to. There's a lot that we can do as a country. I don't think sometimes it's, yes, our economy is not a first world country economy, but we have a lot of money. We have a lot of resources that if used well, then we can do so much. We can do so much for Kenyans. But the first thing is to fix governance, because until the day we fix governance, then the issue of management of public resources will always be a thorn in the flesh.
Okay.
As a country, yeah. So as to what I'm looking for, I am very passionate about my city.
Okay, Nairobi City.
Nairobi City.
Okay, Nairobi County to be precise.
Yes, yeah, Nairobi County to be precise. And looking back at the history, I love history, so I keep making reference to history.
All right.
Looking back to years ago, even shortly after independence and several years later, we had a city that was working.
Ndio.
Large pavements, if you've seen some of those photos that are shared online, a clean city. You know, our river was clean. Right now, there have been attempts to clean it, but still, it's a major issue. There was order. There was order in the city. So you start asking, where did the rain start beating us? How do we have a city that is so complete? There's no order at all. Then the systems have failed. The Nairobians are very, very unhappy. I keep giving an example, Mwakideu, that if you have a child, you'll think twice before going for your errands with that child in the streets of Nairobi, because we'll have a situation where the matatus and the traders are squeezing in the pavements, everything. You don't even feel secure. So right. I'm very keen about restoring order in the city of Nairobi, and also part of them fixing some of the systems that are not working, including health. So that said, my interest
is what
was City Hall, because I thought that is where some of those things can be worked on. But as of now, I'm supporting Babu Owino. So the governor of Nairobi County.
So you're not going for governor?
When it was City Hall, what do you mean?
You're not going for governor, Pauline?
No, I'm not going for governor.
That is what you wanted.
Senator utaki nini?
Senator is still open.
Ushaona?
Senate is still open.
So wewe unataka kuwa City Hall. Kwa hivyo kumaanisha city utakuwa ukitafuta kama CC.
No,
advisor to the government.
What I've said,
to the governor.
No, what I've said that is where my interest was.
City
but
Hall.
you see, in terms of coalition building, my interest was a county. But in terms of coalition building,
but that interest is what I want us to be clear.
Yes.
When you say it was City Hall, what do you mean?
My interest was being governor of Nairobi.
Governor of Nairobi,
yes.
Okay, that's clear.
But
now.
I joined Linda Mwananchi,
right.
where we have another candidate called Babu Owino.
Right.
And in terms of coalition building, and in terms of parties and people coming together, there are compromises that will have to be made. There are people who will be told, don't go for this, let's support so and so for that one, you go for this. And so I'll submit myself. I'll submit myself to that particular process. Right. And being in Linda Mwananchi, which has supported which is supporting Babu Owino for that seat, I've taken a back seat to support him in the spirit of the movement.
All right.
Yeah, that said, being Linda Mwananchi is a higher calling to something bigger than just Nairobi County. It's about our country. It's about, changing a lot of things that needs to be changed so that we, as I'm saying, so that we can be better governed. And so, having worked for political parties for 14 years, I have expertise in communication, I have expertise in political strategy. And so right now, I'm also investing my expertise in Linda Mwananchi, because I believe we have a very good leader in Edwin Sifuna, who can make a very good president, a very transformative leader for this country. And so right now my focus is also supporting Sifuna and Linda Mwananchi to get there. Maybe
tutakuwa ukiwa ndio running mate wa Mheshimiwa Babu?
That's an option, but it will be based on negotiations. Yeah. Yeah.
Not decided.
it will be, we are waiting for those discussions and the negotiations that will come in a few months' time. Yeah. But remember, we are also working with other partners in the opposition. And I'm sure Nairobi will be one of those counties, and maybe Mombasa, that we'll have to go on the table and discuss. There's the governor seat, there's the deputy governor seat, there's a Senate seat, there's a woman rep seat. How do we work around these seats as the opposition coalition?
So as Linda Mwananchi, you will work with United Opposition.
Yes. As Linda Mwananchi will work with the United Opposition.
Okay.
And as you've seen those, you've seen people having discussions.
All right.
The team has met Jubilee candidate Fred Matiang'i. The team has met Kalonzo Musyoka. So those discussions are going, because we have to work together.
All right.
Yeah. But as Linda Mwananchi, our presidential candidate is Edwin Sifuna, and I think he's the best candidate that the opposition will have.
Thank you so much, Pauline Njoroge, for your time leo katika Gumzo 47. We appreciate you and we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.